What's going on, Mavs fans? Welcome into another episode of All Things Mavs. I'm here with the one, the only. You know him, and I know him as Slightly Biased. Slightly, welcome to the show. Appreciate you hopping on. You getting excited for preseason?
I am. I'm getting very excited this time of the year. It's usually media days when it starts to feel like it's the NBA season is finally here.
I mean, Nick and Isaac said it best on Locked On. Like, it's the first day of school. You get to see everybody in the new uniforms. You get to see everybody like on stage actually talking about their new teammates. I think I listened to what you had to say on media day, talking about guys like CJ McCollum saying they're going to have the best season of their lives.
Yeah.
That tells me all I need to know about media day, like the fluff that comes from it. But it still got me excited. I don't know, any overarching thoughts from the Mavs media day, I guess, before we go too far.
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I don't take much said at media day with any real seriousness, but it's just fun seeing, the guys in the jerseys, like you said. And then it's interesting. AD's got to wear a mask, but really outside of that, I didn't hear anything from the Mavs that I wasn't expecting to hear, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Besides, the Dereck Lively 7'3" thing is cool, but I'm like,
really, I forgot about that. That's a big one.
It is big, but it's also like it doesn't really change how he's going to play the game or what he's going to do. I mean,
that's true.
You just add a couple inches. Now he's just an inch shorter than Wemby, who gets another inch from the offseason, which is absolutely wild.
That's kind of crazy if him and Wemby are the same height. I don't know if I believe that.
I mean, if put Lively's hair on him, Lively's got the hair.
True.
So it gives him a couple. So main thing I want to talk about as we've gotten closer and closer to the season, watching your stream, watching you on Locked On, obviously been following you on Twitter. You are getting more and more positive, I think, about this Mavs team than a lot of people. I think you're kind of gaining steam in the idea of like, this team, it could make some noise. Like they could do something in the Western Conference. Where is that coming from? What's like your vibe on this team and your overall projection, especially in the Western Conference that they're in?
Well, let's get one thing straight. I think a lot of it stems from me wanting the Mavs to be good just out of pure spite. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Mavs, and I just want them to be good because of that. And I will always be a fan of the Mavs no matter what, really. That's just the truth. But I've just, after all the months and months of just being beaten over the head with this over and over and over. Yeah, I know the trade was terrible. Yeah, I know it was awful. All of this stuff. Yeah, now I want them to be good just to sit there and laugh at some of these people. That's really what it boils down to. But no, as the season gets closer, I just look around the league, and with the Fred VanVleet's injury, that's a huge injury, for that Rockets team. And I just look around, and I think the Thunder and Nuggets are in a class of their own entirely in the West. And a lot would have to go right for the Mavs to be better than them. That's just the truth. I would say more so the Thunder and the Nuggets. Like the Nuggets, let's say Jamal Murray is just kind of maybe he just never gets back to that phase, the stage he was at a few years ago. Then they're probably not realistic championship contenders. But I don't know. Every other team in the West, I feel like, is just in this same sort of grouping where they've got injury concerns, or they've got a couple guys who, like in the Timberwolves case, where they didn't really get worse or anything like that, but two of their most important players are Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert. Mike Conley's like, if Mike Conley does not even finish the season in the rotation, that wouldn't surprise me much, because that's how washed he looked at times last year. And Gobert's looked a step slower last year, and he's a huge player for them. So, and with the Fred VanVleet's injury, I think the Rockets fall back into this tier where there's like 6 teams that are just like, a lot of things could go wrong, a lot of things could go right, and the Mavs have a very high ceiling compared to some of those other teams. So that's where some of the optimism stems from, I would say.
And I think all that's fair. I'd say even the floor is getting higher and higher when you start to look at the depth of this team in the regular season, because regular season wins come from grinding out games, and depth wins you a lot of regular season games. And I think Dirk said it best at his tennis event. He said, this team has 2 legitimate players at every single position. And I think that's like 100% true. Like they've got 2 guys that it would be in basically anybody's rotation in the NBA. I think piling on top of those teams that you said, like Memphis has got these crazy injuries to start the year. Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson Jr. going to be missing multiple weeks. And if you got guys missing multiple weeks like that, starting off the year in the Western Conference, like you're going to fall into a hole really fast. I know we've got Kyrie, but like we've got ways we can cover up better than, Memphis's cover up was Brandon Clark. and now he's hurt. So,
Yeah.
I think stuff like that. You saw the stuff out of, I mean, it's really early in training camp for the Lakers, but like LeBron's taking a cautious approach. Gabe Vincent isn't fully practicing. Marcus Smart, I mean, he hasn't played more than 25 games in 2 seasons. And so
True.
there's all these teams that have these glaring holes, but everybody acts like the Mavs are so glaring compared to these other ones. And I don't see it that way. I really don't.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, it's just easy to poo-poo the Mavericks. It's easy clicks because it is a self-deprecating fan base at the moment that loves it and wants to get angry and upset with you. So, or like be upset, not get upset at you because you had it, but they want to like, yes, we hate them. We really hate them. Like that's where it's at. So it's easy clicks, but last year was a disaster. I don't think people realized how horrible the injuries were. No team survives that. No team does. No team survives their 2 best players getting injured. And then no team survives, having basically games where you have realistically 8 guys who are going to see the court. That's just not sustainable at all. So they were 7-4 in the games AD played. Do with that information what you will. Kyrie only played in one of those games. So
does that count? Yeah. Does that count play-in game 1 and 2?
That counts playing games. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean,
and that's with all their injuries on top of that they're dealing with.
Right.
So I mean, we haven't seen this team. That's just the truth. We haven't seen them.
No, we haven't. And Klay Thompson has talked about it over and over again, just in these first, like in media day and then first day of training camp. He's just continued to say, like, I was just so amped up because I got to see this team like in its entirety. Obviously, still not in its entirety with Kyrie out, but like you actually get to see the guys that you're going to play with. You get to see, Cooper Flagg stepping in, and I mean, even to a degree, Caleb Martin gets to step in and get to show hopefully a little something. I mean, I'm not very high on Caleb Martin, but we'll see if he can give you anything on the defensive end and hopefully on the offensive end. We'll see. But in terms of Cooper Flagg, who's obviously, where everyone's main focus is going to be outside of Anthony Davis covering up for the Luka trade, like, what is your expectation? I know it's a super vague question, but just your generic expectation for Cooper Flagg on this team.
I think you should win Rookie of the Year. I'm willing to bet the stats aren't as gaudy as some people might want them to be. Like, ESPN I saw some article, ESPN had his fantasy projection at like 19.5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, something like that. I'm like, that would be surprising if he got there. It would be incredible if he got there. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if he'll have the ball in his hands that much to get nearly 20 points a game. Now, I could be completely and totally wrong, and I could be shocked, but I think that they'll utilize him in a bunch of interesting ways. I mean, that's the most exciting thing about him at Duke was that they used him every different way you could use a guy like that on the basketball court. He was the lead ball handler. He brought the ball up. They set ball screens for him. He set ball screens for guys. He came off of screens. He shot, catch and shoot threes. He cut. Like, he did everything you could want a guy to do. And I'm hoping that that's how the Mavericks utilize him. And yeah, maybe there'll be some nights where it's like, you know what, Coop, go out there and get you a couple of, lead ball handler reps. Maybe we're playing the Hornets or something, and we want you to ball out against your boy, Con Knipple. But I'm expecting I think there'll be some rocky bumps because he's not going to be as ready as Luka was, just from like a lead ball handler perspective. But I think it'll be really exciting, and there'll definitely be some flashes where he'll have games where he has, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. And it's like, oh my God, like this is 18 years old. Like, what is it going to be, 5 years from now?
God, it's just mind-boggling to think that he's 18. And I mean, he literally is supposed to be graduating high school right now. Like,
crazy.
It is unbelievable. And I agree. I mean, I think Jason Kidd is going to let him fail a lot. He's going to, he's going to have to. And I think it's in the Mavs' best interest that they just give him the ball and say, hey, we don't care about this regular season game on a random Tuesday night against the Brooklyn Nets, whatever it is. Like, we want to see what you got. Just go run the game. I'm very interested to see how he plays when like Anthony Davis is out, who is, going to miss games at some point. Like, is he kind of relegated down to that 4 position more? Does he stop touching the ball as much? I think the big thing that's going to happen, and it's going to be really fun to watch, it's going to be a totally different pace for the Mavericks, is like, he's going to grab a rebound and go. He's not going to look for D'Angelo Russell. He doesn't need to look for D'Angelo Russell or whoever the guard is on the floor at the time. Like, he can be the guard. He could just grab it off the rim and go. And yeah, he's not going to be as ready as Luka was. And I don't think, I think a lot of very level-headed Mavs fans are ready to not compare him rookie year, but like the casual Mavs fan is going to be like, that's not Luka. Luka was 10 times that player. It's not what he is. He's a different player completely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll get unfairly compared to him, and that's just the reality of the situation. But, yeah, he's not going to be asked to do what Luka was doing in year one either, you know. But, yeah, I agree with your point about, you know, them playing fast. I think they're going to have to. You know, I don't think the pathway for them being like a top 10 offense, maybe that's a little too harsh, but like top 5 elite offense to me just doesn't exist. I like so much would have to go right. Yeah. So my hope for them is around league average offense paired with an elite level, top 3 level defense. And the way they would do that is similar to kind of how the Rockets were last year, where we're not going to be a good half court offense, but we're going to get out and run off of, you know, rebounds. And then we're also going to rebound the ball on the offensive end a bunch. So that'll have to be how they do it. But that is the most exciting thing is Coop grabbing a rebound and bringing that. Those are the on-ball reps you'll see. It won't be, like you said, it won't be, hey, you know, come play point guard for the next 20 minutes. It'll be get up the floor.
Yeah. I will say the one thing, I said this to Nick too on our show, the thing that Dallas can do that I'm excited about is they can kind of replicate what he had at Duke with the common Malawatch like look of like running that pick and roll with the same kind of rim running big. And I think that's going to be huge. What is like, besides not having a Luka Doncic, what is your biggest concern with this offense? What do you see really holding them back from hitting that? I mean, top 10, I think top 10 is high too. Like I really do that. That could be tough. But what's holding them back the most from that?
I mean, you got to shoot threes in today's NBA, and that'll be it, really. That's why D'Lo is important. Like, I think I was talking with somebody who, you know, is pretty close with the organization. He was saying, like, I don't know, I could see a world where Exum starts. And I was like, dude, there's just no way they need that shooting with D'Lo. Like, they got to have it. And it's just, you know, there will be rotations and lineups out there where, you know, AD is not a good 3-point shooter. He's at the best in his career has been a below average 3-point shooter. Like, you know, he's been in the 20s the last few years. Like, he's not a 3-point guy. Lively, that's just a pipe dream. Gafford obviously is not even going to attempt it. And then PJ's a little up and down. He's been streaky his whole career. Flagg, we have no idea. Like, I think the shooting will translate pretty well, but we really have no clue yet. So, yeah, the 3-point shooting is the thing for me. Like, you have to do it in this league. You either have to shoot high volume and just sort of make up for your inefficiency by just shooting a bunch, or be like the Thunder last year where you're not going to shoot much at all, but you're going to hit at a good enough clip. And I worry the Mavericks will be neither. Like, they really might be the Magic of the West. That's probably their best comp right now.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I agree. Like, I think the shooters on this team are a lot of hypothetical shooters. Like, Max Christie could be a great 3-point shooter. Najee Marshall could revert back to his New Orleans days and shoot 38% from 3 again. PJ Washington, depending on the night, is going to be a good 3-point shooter. So I'm with you. I think I worry about 3-point shooting, and I'm with you on the D'Lo starting over Exum thing. Like, I think another reason D'Lo has to start in this situation is because not only is he typically, last year not included, a good 3-point shooter, but he shoots from like deep too, like not just a normal 3-point. Like, he takes a deep shot, and that opens up the floor more than anybody outside of Klay can really do on this team. So I'm team D'Lo start. I do not want to see Exum starting on this team.
No, I mean, I got the logic was kind of like, we're just going to play a bunch of defense and be big. And so it's like, we're just going to throw, like, that's just what we're going to be. But yeah, I really doubt it. I mean, another concern with the 3-point shooting is all of the guys that we were talking about. Like, you know, there's no Kyrie. Obviously, there's no Luka. There's no guys who really can create threes for themselves either, besides D'Lo, who's just very up and down. So it's going to be very reliant on, you know, they're going to run a lot of pick and roll, I'd have to imagine. They'll do some interesting stuff. I do think they'll have, you know, AD will set a screen for Lively, or Lively will set a screen for AD. And then AD will set a screen for Flagg, and Flagg will set a screen for AD. Like, you'll see that type of stuff. That's pretty interesting. And it opens up some you know, interesting looks offensively. But, yeah, I mean, this is a 3-point shot. I just don't see a world where they're good at 3-point shooting. I mean, so many things would have to go correct for them. Yeah. But if they're league average from three, then yeah, I think they'll be a league average or above league average offense. And if their defense is good, then that's a very good team. That is a very good team.
I agree, and I'm with you. Top three defense. I mean, PJ said they want to be the
it has to be. It has to be.
Has to be. I mean, they're banking on it. I mean, they've pushed all the chips into the defensive pot.
Absolutely.
I mean, so and I fully believe they'll get there. Even nights where AD doesn't play, like they've got the defenders to do it. Like PJ is an incredible defender. He'll start in place of AD. I guess on that note, what's your prediction starting five opening night and the most consistent starting five we're going to see?
What do I think is going to happen, or what would I want to happen?
I guess give me both.
I think it'll be D'Lo, Klay, Flagg, AD, Gafford. I guess I don't know. They've got an infatuation with Gafford starting, so that would be my guess. What I would want to see, and what I think would probably end up being the most consistently played lineup, will probably be D'Lo, Klay, Coop, AD, and Lively. I just think Lively's just going to be undeniable at a certain point, where as long as he's healthy, I'm just very high on him and his upside. So that would be my prediction. I know some people are in the Max Christie train. I doubt it, honestly. That'd be nice if he could get to a point where he's kind of pushing that. I know there's some B-Will truthers. There's just no chance that's happening.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be D'Lo. I'd be surprised if DSJ's on the team.
I know, me too. I'm with you.
They need B-Will more than they need DSJ. That's just the reality.
No, 100%. I'm with you. I don't think DSJ's on the team. I think he's on the Legends, which is fun. And who knows, maybe he gets back in. That's great. But no, I'm with you. I think that starting five, I'm hoping it's Lively at the five. I think his passing with the lack of creators on this team is also really important. Like his high post kick out, like some of those plays, man. I mean, there was someone made a whole montage of him just making good kick out passes for like a 5-minute montage, and I watched all 5 minutes of it on Twitter. It's like that's something that he brings that no other big on this team brings, not even Anthony Davis. And it's going to be, I mean, he's only 21, dude. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I'm very, very high on Dereck Lively. I'm high on Daniel Gafford too. It's not like you have to be high on one or the other, but we know what Daniel Gafford is. Like there's nothing that's being added to his game at this point. It's like Lively still has a hypothetical jump shot, but he still has room to grow around the rim. He has room to grow as a passer, even though he's already a great passer and a defender. And I think he's going to do all those things at a high level.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Gaff coming off the bench and bullying. I mean, he's one of, if not maybe the best backup centers of the league. So he comes off the bench and is immediately, bullying some of these backup bench bigs, which across the league are just terrible by and large. Yeah. So that's what I like from Gafford, and Lively, like you said. I mean, the playmaking is special. He's just a better defender than Gafford is. That's just the reality. And if you're going to commit to that, then just commit to it. Go all in and just have your strength be so strong that it overcomes all your weaknesses. Because, I do think offense will be a weakness for him. I mean, I'm looking at, the Magic last year, the second best defense, 109 defensive rating, but they only had a 0.5 net rating because their offense was so terrible. Like your offense can't be that bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had a ton of injuries though, to be fair, but that is like, even if you have an elite defense, it has to be at least an average offense.
Yeah. And I believe it will be. I think top 15, and that's average, I guess. Top 15 is more than doable. The Magic, as good as Paolo was, and Paolo was hurt a lot of the year, as good as Franz is, like he was hurt a lot of the year. They don't have an Anthony Davis, and like that's a guy that can do some insane things on the offensive end. Is there anybody on this team? I mean, you mentioned Max Christie. Yes, he would be amazing if he could get to a point where he was starting regularly. Is there anybody on the team that like you're higher on than you think the majority of Mavs fans at this point?
Well, I think I'm higher on Lively than a majority of Mavs fans, to be honest with you. Outside of that, I mean, there's some young talent, but I don't know how much of it is like super developable. I'm not super high on Hardy. I'm just gonna be real. I don't really think he's an NBA player at this point in time. We got rid of Omax. Didn't think he was an NBA player, unfortunately. I love B-Will. There's no way I'm higher on B-Will than Mavs fans. That's just because he's universally loved. So that's completely and totally fair. But yeah, I'm higher on Lively than I think most Mavs fans. Because I've seen this prevailing thought that like Lively was terrible without Luka. I don't really know where that comes from. He played like 3 games.
Yeah.
Like it's just insane to think that that's a sample size worth taking anything away from. But I don't think people fully appreciated how much better he was last year than he was rookie year. I see people argue the opposite, which is just insane to me. Like he looked so much better as a basketball player last year, and he's 21, and he's smart, good locker room guy.
Yep.
Everything I've heard from him from like people who are around the team is just like he's the captain on the defense the moment he steps on the floor. It doesn't matter that he's 20 years old. Like he talks more than anyone that's been with the Mavs in quite some time on defense. So I love that. I'm banking on him. If he stays on the floor, I think he's got, all defensive first team level upside. So that's where I'm at with him.
I'm the same way. I think, God, to think that we could have 2 all defensive players in him and Anthony Davis, if they can both play 65 plus games is absolutely insane. I don't know if the Mavs have ever had 2 all defensive players at the same time. That's just
I think they've only had like 5 or 6 in their whole history. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of like Brad Davis and Derek Harper. Like beyond that, I mean, there's like Tyson Chandler, I guess, probably made one.
I looked it up once, and it's not a long list of all defensive guys.
Yeah, I believe it. I think my guy probably for that is D'Lo coming in, and I think that's more maybe not so much Mavs fans, but NBA fans in general. Like, yeah, he completely wets the bed in the playoffs. I get that. Like he's done it multiple times on multiple different teams. He's not going to be the starting point guard on the Mavs in the playoffs. God willing, we get there. But I just think he's going to come into this role with something to prove, with a chip on his shoulder. That could go one of 2 ways. That could either mean he's going to chuck up 100 shots, or it means he's going to do what he said and plug in and figure out where he fits best. I think his shooting is going to go back to what he's used to shooting, not his 33, 32% he was at last year. And I think his passing is just going to shock people. Like we have to have a close to elite passer somewhere on this team, and he's the closest thing we have to it. And so I'm expecting bigger things, and I think a lot of NBA fans in general are. So we'll see. And if it doesn't work out, we'll go to Exum. And if that doesn't work out, we'll go to B-Will. And if that doesn't work out, DSJ, you're getting called up. So I don't know. We'll figure out at that point.
That's a good one. That is a good one because I agree with you that the national perception of him is probably pretty accurate, but like you said, he's not going to be our starting point guard in the playoffs. I mean, hopefully, and $6 million, and all of the things that he does well are the exact things the Mavs need, and all of his his negative traits. I think you have a team built to sort of mask some of those. I mean, it's similar to the Ayton thing in LA, where it's like that guy's a loser ass player. I've seen it his whole career, and I think he's such a loser. But for them, it's pretty good. Any other situation, I'd be like, yeah, he's whatever. But like for them, he's I see it.
Dude, with the Ayton situation, I say it every time. Every time he comes up, the Portland Trailblazers are paying him like $25 million to not play for them. It's unreal. I mean, yes, agreed. It's better than what the Lakers had, 100%. But good night. He is not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I agree with him that it's better than what they had, but I'm not like watching Luka's whole career. Man, the Jackson Hayeses of the world is who he's really good with. That is just the truth. And that is not who Ayton is. But he is talent-wise, obviously, much better than anything they've had before that. So
don't feel like you have to spoil it if you got a big stream coming out doing your official predictions. But we're talking Western Conference teams. Who's your? Let's go top 6. You don't have to give me all your playing teams. If you had a top 6 right now, what are you looking at in the West?
It's interesting because I haven't sat down and done it yet. I mean, the Thunder to me, and people are going to kill me for it. I don't care. Thunder are clear-cut favorites again. I'd be shocked if they didn't win the NBA Finals again. For some reason, people got so mad at me last year because I was just saying, guys, the Thunder are good, and they'd be like, dude, no, what? And I'm like, they're insanely good. I don't know what to tell you, and they'll be insanely good again. Them and the Nuggets, like I said earlier, are on a tier of their own. The Nuggets I could see being like a 4 seed or something. Like, they're one of those teams, but playoff time, like they're they are up there with the Thunder. I mean, then you just get to these teams where it's like, the Warriors will be good. They're getting older. I mean, they're going to have one of the oldest lineups in the history of the league. So I don't know.
Unbelievable.
I know. I mean, the Rockets will be great again. But I think there'll be some bumps along the way. The Clippers, they'll be interesting. They're old. Some of these old teams, it just ends. It doesn't like, there's not sometimes it's just over and done with. And the Warriors are old. I mean, if LeBron, we don't want to say it, but if LeBron looks like he's 41 years old this year, which is entirely possible, that changes the dynamic of their team tremendously. So the teams I feel very confident will be a top 6 seed right now, I truthfully are the only 3 I could say are the Thunder, Nuggets, and Timberwolves would be mine. And then I would probably throw the Rockets in there. So that's 4. And the closer we get to, I'm like, I think the Mavs will be a top 6 seed. I mean, I really do.
Too.
I honestly do believe they'll be a top 6 seed. And then you always have like the Spurs are a sleeping giant. They just are. There will be a Wemby year coming up. It very possibly could be this year, but it's coming at some point. I think we're probably 2 years away from them being like a top 3 seed or something like that. But would it surprise me at all if they were the 6 seed this year? No, not in the slightest.
No, I'm with you. I agree with just about all. I mean, I agree. I think the Mavs are a top 6 team. I think I'm pretty comfortable taking them above the Warriors. Like, I think that Warrior drop off is coming this year. I don't believe in that age of that team. I think the Clippers will be good, depending on how many trees Kawhi plants before the start of the season. I mean, who knows how many more podcasts Pablo Torre puts out.
I mean, if he gets suspended, that's significant, and that's on the table, I think.
I think so too. I think it needs to be if that's actually what's going on. I mean, James Harden's 36. Like,
I know.
In my head, James Harden was the same age as Kyrie, and they're like 32, 33, like getting it. I mean, 36 is old for a point guard. It just is.
They're an older team. Like, that's why I was saying these old teams, man. And at this point, we're all like, you look at the West, the Jazz are the only team I look at and I'm like, they're going to be terrible. Like, I think even Portland is frisky, right? It's like you have your top end teams, and then you're just predicting what team's going to have a season from hell. Like, that's really what you're predicting at that point. And the Mavs had theirs last year, so let's just bank that it doesn't happen twice in a row.
Dude, I'm with you. I think, I would say Utah, Portland, Sacramento are probably the 3 that I would have the lowest. Utah by far under the other 2.
Yeah.
But you never know if Zion is Ozempic Zion and he's as good as he looks coming into the year. Like, that dude's unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, they could be good. It's possible.
But the closer I get to the season, the more I see stuff coming out about some of these teams. I'm like, dude, Dallas, I think we're going to be a top 6 team. I think we're going to be in the playoffs. I think Kyrie will come back a little earlier than expected. Obviously, no one wants to put a timeline on it. I get it. But the dude looks unreal at this stage. Not that I know anything about ACL tears, but I don't know. I'm getting, and of course, it's that time of the year where everybody gets high on their teams, but it's hard not to. It's hard not to right now.
I mean, I'm trying to look at the standings. I don't know why on ESPN it's making me look at preseason standings from last year, but
it did that to me too. I don't get it.
Well, I was trying to look at like how many games did you have to win last year to be a top 6 seed? Here, I pulled it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 49. I mean, that's been it the last couple of years. 49. So you got to be close to a 50-win team if you want to make it as a top 6 seed, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I mean, it's not as though there's like 7 or 8 teams in the West that are concrete, that feel like you feel great about. All of these teams have not just questions, but like major glaring questions. Because it's like, all right, Ayton, he's so much better. Great. What if that doesn't work out? And it very easily could not. Then what? Is it still Jackson Hayes? Then what happens if, for the Clippers, Kawhi gets suspended? What happens if the Rockets? I mean, KD hasn't played KD's a guy who's going to miss games at this point in his career. Then what happens? Like, those are all very realistic questions for each of these teams. So it'll really be a war of attrition. And you're just predicting like which teams will survive versus which teams will die. I mean, that's really it.
That's what it is.
I feel like in the East, I can look and be like, yeah, it'll be those 6 teams. Like,
right. No,
the
I'm
West
with
is
you.
a bloodbath.
Yeah, it is bloodbath, and hopefully we're ready for it. And again, it'll be really nice. Knock on wood that preseason and training camp go well. That the Mavs are coming in 90% healthy minus Kyrie. Like that's going to be absolutely huge to come out of the gates fast with teams like San Antonio dealing with the Fox injury, Memphis dealing with their bigs injuries, and then also like another thing. And this is kind of my last point.
Edie's hurt too, isn't he?
Edie's hurt too. They got all 3 of their bigs.
Wow.
Their big man is Jock Landale, which is insane. That he's even still in the NBA. But the other thing with the Mavs, compared to a lot of these Western Conference teams, is 13 of the 15 guys that ended the season are still on the team. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. D'Lo was talking about that. I was like, wow, that is nuts.
It doesn't feel like it because there's been so much turnover in the past year, but getting a full summer and training camp and all that stuff, like that should help you theoretically come out of the gates a little hotter than some of these other teams. So
yeah, and I mean that is really interesting. So many of those guys returning, and I see this when people are like, well, when last year they did this, they did that. That team that's not the team that you're going to see on the basketball court. Not even close. Like, it just isn't even remotely close. So it'll be interesting. It's just wait and see. Anyone who acts like they have any like firm concrete, this is gonna happen, they're lying. Yep. No one really knows. Portland could be the 6th seed. I don't know. That could if you told me that, I'd be like, oh, okay. Interesting, but all right. I mean, I can see it. I can close my eyes and see them being like the 5th best defense.
I mean, Drew Holiday back to Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Jeremy
Grant, all defense. Like, I close my eyes and maybe I can get there.
You never know. You never know. It's gonna be a fun season. I appreciate you jumping on. If you're watching this on YouTube, like you probably already follow Slightly on everything that you can follow them on. But real quick, shout out your channel, shout out everything you want them to follow you on.
YouTube.com/slightly biased, Twitter @biasslightly. That's it, really.
That's it. That's all you need.
Thanks for having me on, brother. It was fun.
Absolutely. A lot of fun. Appreciate you jumping on. Preseason on Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, do all the fun things.